Here's the 7 guiding principles that we use within Pink Panda to just help with every decision we make and how we think about the way that we work. They are 1 in 400 trillion, the best part is no part, best process is no process, the Rubik's Cube phenomena, walk the factory line, proactive, effective efficiencies. Pink Panda is here to help your purpose and fulfillment. And lastly, the 100-year goal. So I explain each one. 1 in 400 trillion, this is what is calculated to be your odds of existence. So you as the individual you are, it's estimated that the chances that you would exist is 1 in 400 trillion, because not only was it the exact sperm cell and egg that created you, but the entirety of human history had to happen the exact way it happened for the population of humanity to grow in the way it did for you to exist. So if you imagine the male, the female that created you, it had to be those exact individuals, that exact time, that exact sperm and egg. But not only that, who created them had to happen exact a moment in time in order for those people to meet. So there's a whole, when you think about it, it gets scary, but the entirety of human history had to happen in that exact way. So when it comes to the challenges and goals that we set, we've already achieved what is some of the most impossible odds. You are more likely to win the lottery twice than you are to exist. You're more likely to win the lottery multiple times. The whole thing is the odds of existence are 1 in 400 trillion, so we're going to set ridiculous goals because we've already achieved what is near impossible. Second, the best part is no part, the best process is no process. I've borrowed this one from Elon Musk, where he applies it in every company he has. The whole concept is, when it comes to building out your systems, your processes, the best part is no part, the best process is no process. 4 of them are very similar, but the whole concept is reinforcing how important it is to be as efficient as we can. So the best part is no part, the best process is no process. We'll always be able to delete parts and processes to the point where we've deleted too much. If you're not having to put things back in place, then you're not deleting enough. Next, the Rubik's Cube phenomena. Now this, I love, because what it means is a Rubik's Cube, no matter how much you mix it up, can always be solved in 21 moves or less. And yet, when we solve a Rubik's Cube, if you ever do, we often will do way more moves than those 21 moves or less. It will be a whole assortment of algorithms to get through to a point where you eventually solve the whole cube, often being more than 100 moves. And so the whole point of that is to always think of, how do we get to those 21 moves or less? When we think of the best part is no part, the best process is no process, how do we keep deleting down? So instead of doing 100 moves to get to that solution, we're getting there as efficiently and quickly as possible. So yes, we're getting the same outcome, but it's about getting to the outcome as effectively as we can. And how do we achieve that? By walking the factory line. When I think of this, I use it as a metaphor. So if you imagine a factory, just a rectangular shape, and for Pink Panda, clients come in, they follow a process, and they walk out with their result, whether it's content, whether it's the marketing consultancy, whether they're on a retainer, whatever it is, there's an outcome that we're achieving for them. And that involves a step-by-step process. And so the job of the MD, of the founder, of the CEO, whatever, is always to walk the factory line and delete as much as we can. So it's taking that whole best part is no part, best process is no process. So this is the, how do we do that? And that is by looking at your day-to-day tasks and just seeing, how can I be more efficient? How can I challenge the thinking of, and no matter if it's your role, someone else's role, what we want to encourage is autonomy and initiative to go, oh, I've identified in my role, I can be more effective here. I've walked my own factory line, and I can see if I delete this and delete that, I can be more effective and still get to the same outcome. And also when you're working with others, are just going, oh, I can see that you're getting there with the outcome. Have you tried doing this, this, this? It will mean that you can delete this part in this process, whatever it is. So the whole thing is, by walking the factory line, we're always walking the factory line to see how we can be more effective and get to the outcome that we want quicker. So to go through that whole walking the factory line and deleting parts and processes, it's got to be proactive, effective efficiencies. What I mean by this is, oftentimes, and I've made the mistake myself, where I've looked at how to make a process way more efficient, to delete parts out of it, only to realize later on that I could delete the whole thing, or I'm trying to make this long, arduous process way more efficient and realizing I can just go around it a different way to be way more effective. It's about efficiencies being nothing without effectiveness. So it's got to be always working towards that outcome and looking at how can you be more efficient effectively so that it's getting the result you want, and it's not just making something more efficient that doesn't even need to exist. And how you achieve that is by walking the factory line to delete the parts that aren't and the processes that aren't necessary. But ultimately, Pink Panda is here to support your purpose and your fulfillment. So the whole thing is, like, you're paid based on getting the things done, and like the more you achieve, the easier you make life for everyone else in the business, the more you can earn. And we want to incentivize performance and reward based on that. So the whole thing is like, what's the best thing for your career? What's the best thing for the business? Let's just create something that rewards that. And so with all those things, with all of these guiding principles, it's about creating autonomy and creating giving you the power to craft out what your career looks like, because we want to support what you want to achieve. And we've got our values and our purposes, what we want to do in the company. And so it's a case of that needs to align with you. And if it doesn't align with you, like, don't be here. Find something that fulfills your purpose and fulfills what will give you a sense of happiness. And if that's not here, there's no problem. We move on. It's all about being as effective we can, as efficient we can. And if you're not happy here, you won't be able to be effective and efficient. So the key thing is finding what you want to achieve. And Pink Panda wants to be part of the vessel that helps support that, to craft you something that you feel truly inspired by and fulfilled by. And that's not to say it's going to be easy. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be tough and challenging. Like, some of the best work humans do was mind-grueling and absolutely exhausting, but what they got out of the result was something that they never thought they could achieve in their lifetime. So we're trying to find some kind of balance there where, yes, it's going to be hard work, and there's going to be a mixture between overworking and then finding moments where you feel like you need to find stuff to do, but ultimately getting to a point where there's this consistent feeling of being fulfilled and happy. And the last one, the 100-year goal. So in my personal life, I've got a 100-year goal of what I want to achieve for humanity. I've got a number of companies I want to build, and it's all about finding the right people to help bring those companies to life and then bring that future for humanity that I want. And there's another video explaining the whole 100-year goal, but the idea is that's what we're all working towards. Like, yes, we're building Pink Panda, but there's other companies to build, but the whole concept is ultimately it's all planned a part of this 100-year goal. And to summarize that, it's a future where humanity by birthright gets free access to warmth, shelter, nutritional food, and clean water globally. Free. Just like in Britain, we have the NHS and that's free healthcare. It's then adding to that so that the fundamentals of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, level 1, all catered for. So as a human, you're catered to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, level 1, to enable you to work on other things. That's the plan.